There's a whole host of external issues like politics, like infrastructure issues, like specifically African stuff. But I'll focus on three main things that I think really are important for AMBA schools. In the context of high unemployment, people then have to make a choice. Do I go to work and find a job because there are few jobs around, or do I advance my education? Right? So that's problem number one. Like, how useful and meaningful is this business education thing that you guys are offering, particularly the MBA program? Right? Problem number two then is the stock itself, the people, the quality of what we call basic education, which is high school education, is variable to poor, all right? And in many countries on the African continent. So by the time you get them into business school, you have to go back a little bit and teach and support some of that stuff, right? That's problem number two, like the quality of the domestic market in terms of whether it's in one country or in multiple countries is variable. And so we don't have the riches of quality students that come to many of the AMBA schools, particularly in Europe or in North America or even China and India, for example. Three, price point, right? So as an AMBA school, you have to be operating at a price point to pay for the quality that you are producing, to afford that quality, to afford those points of differentiation. That means the price point to the student is typically much higher than the price point of other schools in your region. Therefore, you have this conundrum of you want to produce quality, but quality comes at a price, and many of the students can't afford that price point. And that's just a school view. I'm just focusing on three school views. I could kind of explode it into national context issues like politics, government, inefficient infrastructure, a whole range of external factors, but I just focused instead on very specific business school issues that I think are often underappreciated, but are equally important to set AMBA schools apart from non-AMBA schools. Let me list a few of the opportunities. Most AMBA schools and other business schools outside of the AMBA community are all looking to drive impact. And I think partnering with schools on the African continent gives you an amazing opportunity to drive impact at scale. I can begin at impact at a micro level, where when we go to graduation and you see that individual student graduating, they typically are the first student in their entire village to get a master's qualification, right? And that is something really special. You can't put a price to that. It is not a transactional thing. So when that person is coming through that stage, it is the village that is graduating. It is not that individual. That is just for the one person. Then when you scale that up to the cohort of students, you are then producing a cohort of responsible business leaders. And these leaders then who now have tools, who have a language, who have a community, they understand there's a safe place to be vulnerable, a safe place to experiment, a safe place to drive societal change through business. That is at like a cohort level, right? Then you scale that up at a school level to say, what initiatives and programs do you want to invite into your space? For example, I mentioned that in our space, we invite climate issues into our space. We invite digital injustice issue into our space. We invite humane-related issues. And in the humane specific, we're talking about women in leadership, racial representation, mental health issues. We're talking about really understanding this future world of work. When is it toxic? When is it transformative? So we invite those initiatives. You wrap that around, it helps us to make a contribution to addressing social impact problems, complex problems. And then we collect so many data points. Then the opportunity is for scholars to come and experience this at a micro level, for scholars to come and experience this at a cohort level, for scholars to come and help us to research and tell the story at a school level. at a country level, and you're getting access to data sets that are idiosyncratic, that are not easy to establish, that are wonderful to work with, and that introduce the world to this abundant opportunity that is Africa.